IMSA fans, we are here for another shop tour, Indianapolis area, Battle on the Brick, second installment, and endurance races time for the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. One of the great things, hidden things often about the history of endurance racing here in the US. There's a lot of amazing shops in and around Indianapolis, so we're going to visit inside with our friends at Wayne Taylor Racing, their Acura GTP program, all within the Andretti Global family. Friends, we have Travis Hogue. He is general manager here at Wayne Taylor Racing. We can see the byproduct of your work over many, many years. This team, one of the great success stories in North American endurance racing, Travis. So these aren't all the trophies, right? There's a lot more for sure. The team is involved. IMSA GTP, GTD, Lamborghini Super Trofeo, a wide footprint. You're going to be kind enough to take us for a tour of the shop here and show us where all of this work gets done, get the cars prepared going into this weekend's Battle on the Bricks at Indianapolis, a home race, a proper endurance race. Let's go take a look at some hot rods.
All right.
So here on the outskirts of Indianapolis, a lot of racing teams out in this area, right? It's not exactly city center, but out here slightly on the outskirts in the Brownsburg area. It's sports cars, it's open wheel, drag racing really big. I saw some vintage cars just over here. Tell us about the shop that you've had set up for quite a while.
So obviously you mentioned we have history. Wayne Taylor Racing started back in 2007. We moved here in 2013-14. Actually, this was a drag racing shop originally built before that, so we moved in. And back then it was one car, and we had all this space for one car. Now you look at it, and it's we have 3 different buildings that we work out of. So it's been a big thing for Wayne Taylor Racing and with Andretti to be able to put this together and grow the team, and it's a very good facility, as well as close to the airport.
I also love, and this is a theme we see in a lot of the major racing programs, where everyone's together. This is a brotherhood and a sisterhood where, whether it's mechanics, engineers, whatever level, management and such, you're all together and close. Tell us about the choice of layout here.
So we wanted to make this so it's Wayne Taylor Racing with Andretti is one team, right? We run GTP, we run GTD, we run Trofeo, but we have one group of people that works together. So the layout was pretty simple. It's each car and each program has their bays. The bays are pretty much identical, and then sub-assembly and gearbox area, crew chief's offices, and then upstairs you can see the big window looking down, which is our engineering offices. So there's always people that you can look at, you can see what's going on, and it kind of builds that team environment.
Building has been here for a while. Of course, would love to have a beautiful, massive, opulent facility, and we've seen some of those going around some of the garage tours and shop tours, but I do appreciate the fact that this is very much a utilitarian approach. We could have a lot of bells and whistles, but we know Wayne Taylor. Wayne Taylor is a racer first and foremost. Tell me about that side as well, because the culture here, hands-on, up close, there's a reason for that.
The reason for that is all of our employees take ownership in what we do, right? So everybody here has ownership in every race that we go win, everything that we try to accomplish. So when we're working the shop, it's all about what do we need to support the guys, the team, everybody to be the best at what we're trying to achieve. Like, we're trying to get the goals, we're trying to win Daytona 24-hour races. So like you said, it doesn't take a lot of bells and whistles to do that. We just want to provide the team the tools that they need to achieve that.
We make some amazing chrome colored wraps and such here, taking care of all of your Acura ARX-06 bodywork. Tell us about what happens in here, and again, this is a smart use of space.
So this is one of the areas in the shop where we have a lower lighting. It's kind of it's got its own conditioning system, so we do all of our carbon work in here. So assembly of the final body work, assembly when we're doing all the wraps, and with these new with the chrome wrap and stuff we do, we also have to put a covering on it, and you got to make sure there's no bubbles in that. So all the lighting and the way the room is works out perfectly for this. But this is so the tables were custom built for the size of the bodywork. So you can have a nose and a tail on one of these.
Smart.
So you can walk around the whole table and you can look all the way around the car with it. So these are things that, as we talked about, providing the people what they need to do the job. These were designed by the guys doing the work.
How smart. Again, 2-car here for the factory Acura ARX-06 program, so everything nestled in here. But there's more than just Acuras. There's also some pretty awesome Italian content within the house. Why don't we go take a look right next door here. Some Lamborghini Super Trofeo cars. Know that Wayne Taylor Racing, big entrant there. Championship pursuits and whatnot. Getting
Yes.
down to the fun part of the season.
Last race here in the US, and then we go to the World Finals in Spain for that program. So it's going to be interesting.
WTR rich history in the Lamborghini Super Trofeo series. Travis mentioned that fighting for championships, fighting for all kinds of stuff here as we're getting down towards the end of the season. So we might look at the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship content as obviously the front line, but you have a really, really in-depth and high quality, call it pipeline of talent, whether it's drivers, mechanics, engineers. You're building things here.
We're building things. And that was the point when we started the Trofeo program. It was for drivers, mechanics, engineers. We needed a place where people could come learn, not only learn how to work on cars, but learn the culture of racing and the culture of WTR. So coming off of, with this program, we're coming off of COTA. We were down there 2-3 weeks ago now. We're one race short of having a perfect weekend. So we run 4 cars, 4 different classes. With the way we run right now, we have 2 cars the same class. Race 1, we won all but 1 class. Race 2, we won all the classes. So now we go into Indy leading all the championships but one race to go, and then we're off to Spain for the World Finals. So
phenomenal. Plus, anytime you put a Cougar on a race car, that's pretty much guaranteed that you're going to have phenomenal success. So,
got a lot of attention in Texas.
I mean, there's reasons for things here. But look at this. This is, again, speaks to the life and growth and health of the team as well. It's a really important thing to do, right? Because as a business, Wayne Taylor Racing is looking to not only service the manufacturers that you work with, but also to try and keep a pipeline going. So across every level, getting cars ready to go into the transporter here for the Indianapolis weekend. Got real work going on, getting ready to go racing.
Load in and see what the weekend brings. But yeah, great group of guys.
Wayne Taylor Racing, they call this room Tire Town, and it is an absolutely perfect nickname between GTP, GTD, and Lamborghini Super Trofeo. Rain tires, dry tires, all kinds of tires. Travis, Lord, my brain would be melting down if I had to keep track of what was what.
It takes about 6 people that are constantly working back and forth between engineering and the guys that are actually doing the work to it. And just, if you notice all the numbers and lettering on all the tires, it's set from a test that we may have only done a shakedown on that's going to go. So because with GTP, it's all confidential tires. So we can't have anything here outside of non-confidential tires. So all of this is what it takes to go testing. One of the pieces that we try to present that the team has done is our winners wall. So that represents, as of today, 120 different wins, championships that we've done as Wayne Taylor Racing.
We have our friend Steve Goff from HRC here by chance as we're finishing our shop tour at WTR. They're here getting ready for this weekend. Tell us what you were doing. We were hearing engines being warmed, amazing sound. It wasn't just idling coming up. Tell us about what you do here coming to your partner's shop to get ready for the battle on the bricks.
Well, as you know, these new GTP cars are very complex. They're not as simple as they used to be. That in itself drives us into a position whereby we have to be ready because race day or race weekend, time's of the essence. It's kind of you know, it's not that we have trouble, it's just that we're trying to mitigate any risks here by getting this thing set up before we go to the racetrack.
Show up 99.9% prepared, if not 100.
If not 100, yeah. So it's because of the complexity of these things that we've decided that it's best for us to come to the shop prior to going to any event, whether it's a test or a race. And so we'll get all the things ironed out. Any issues that crop up here, we can take care of them before we go to the racetrack, where obviously, again, time is of the essence. You know, these guys have a lot of work to do when they get to the racetrack, setups and tech, and you know, it all takes a lot of time. And you can see here that it takes us a lot of time to do what we have to do. So a lot of the tracks, like we're going to Indy, the actual day is capped, beginning and end. So you
can only be in the garage for so long.
Absolutely, you can't stay there all day and all night. So this just helps us get our systems working. You know, that we have the ICE, obviously, and
internal
and
combustion engine, energy recovery systems integrated.
And all the other complex systems in this car, they're all integrated with each other, and they all have to talk to each other, right? So if we get to the racetrack and find out that something's wrong, it takes a lot longer to figure that out without the resources, you know, on hand. So we've done this before. This is our second year doing this. It just makes it easier on the team once they get there, that we're not owning the car essentially all day and keeping it away from them. So we have our high voltage people here too, because obviously we're running high voltage systems here. So they're the first people to go near the car. They check the systems, make sure everything's functioning properly, it's safe to use. They boot back off. Our ICE guys come in and run the car, and you saw there we do multiple engine starts, gearbox checks, obviously run through the gears. And yes, we check the charging. If you heard the thing that sounded kind of funny, that's when it's in its charge mode, and we check that, make sure the system's powering
Fill up that battery, make sure it's ready.
Yep, and then it's a case of going over the data, make sure everything's good. And then that gets sent back to HRC in California. They'll take a look at it as well. And so when we go to the track on setup day, if there's anything that needs to be changed, something we either want to do or need to do, we can have that ready to go and plug into the car when we get there, and you know, hopefully have a good day.
Make sure you follow along with us on IMSA's official YouTube channel, and follow IMSA Racing on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X. We're going to be doing some pretty cool stuff with some pretty cool people with some pretty cool race cars. Visit IMSA.com to hear the action called live, and download the official IMSA app to follow the timing and scoring information as the sessions take place.